Hey, yo, welcome back to the channel. My name is Rob Markman. This is Markman Comics. It's the Monday morning after New York City Comic Con 2024. Had a lot of fun this weekend. Did some work things that I was proud of, just like some things professionally that helped me grow. And, picked up some joints that I've been wanting at the same time. Met up with a lot of friends, man. Had a lot of fun. So I'm going to recap New York City Comic Con 2024. Shout out to everybody that I saw out there. So I didn't go Thursday. Friday was my first day. Friday was a work day for me. But again, the work was really fun. And then I went Saturday and Sunday as well. First on Friday, I went to the Whatnot Hero House. Whatnot had the Hero House about a block away on 37th Street. And up the block. So it was like separate from the convention, but it was part of the convention. So they had their own space, the Hero House. And I did my first ever live stream on the Whatnot platform. I've always bought from Whatnot. So shout out to Skeleton Key Comics, Samantha and Tony. Rob Liefeld stream I buy from quite regularly, Comic Tom. So, I'm familiar with the Whatnot platform. But I never was a streamer. I never sold anything. I was never front facing on the camera. And so I got my hands on some Marvel 24 variant packs, and I was going to do the stream from home. But Whatnot invited me to the Hero House, and I said, why not? It sounded like fun, man. So shout out to my guy, Jack, over at Whatnot. So I get there early, because it also, to some of y'all who know I do music, I do live interviews. I do live stuff often, right? And when I'm in a new venue or a new space, if I'm performing somewhere, I like to get there early. I like to get a feel for the space before I do my thing. I don't like to just walk in cold and then right away jump on camera and start to perform. I like to get a feel for the space, right? So I get there early. Comic Tom is doing his live. He's doing his thing. And then Todd McFarlane walks in, and Comic Tom and Todd McFarlane start doing their interview. Todd is my favorite artist of all time. So I'm sitting here just soaking this all in. This is crazy. This is dope. But I'm also like, how do I follow this up? How do I follow up Comic Tom and Todd McFarlane? It was cool, man. I actually got to meet Comic Tom. Dude is super nice, super chill. One of my first videos, or my second video, I think it was my second video that actually, and really gained traction on the channel was the Comic Tom versus Sticky Goose situation. And he talked about it. He noticed that video, and we talked about it very briefly. And just talked about, what me launching my channel the weekend that was happening, what that kind of meant for me and just the validation it gave me. So shout out to Tom, man. Had some really, really kind words, man. Dude was super chill. Met Golden Age Guru in the con too. Like all of these, content creators who do really great stuff, acknowledging me and what I do was super chill. So yeah. So I got to meet Tom. Didn't get to meet Todd McFarlane, man. I could have kind of bum rushed them, and the space wasn't that crowded. But I have this thing where I really kind of respect people's space, so I didn't want to go all in, and I'll get my chance to meet and break bread with Todd, I'm sure. But it was cool. So they finished their stream and I start mine, and I had my homie Brian B. Miller from the Rat Radar podcast. If y'all follow the Rat Radar podcast, you know B. I've known B. for about 20 years, since I first got into the music industry. So B. was pulling up to the con because he wanted to go to Charlamagne's panel, which I was moderating. So I had an extra badge for him. So I'm like, yo, just meet me in Hero House. So he pulls up right before I'm about to go on live. I'm like, bro, you here? You're not doing anything anyway. Yo, jump on this live with me. So me and B. Did the live stream together, man. It was super fun. I was a little nervous because I never did a Whatnot sale before, and I'm following Comic Tom and Todd McFarlane, and I was seeing what Stash Loot was doing on Thursday. They did their thing. But, man, we killed it, man. We had fun, man. So shout out to my man Scoop Flow. Shout out to Stevie Wan. Shout out to everybody who showed up. Y'all packages is in the mail. I woke up very, very early this morning, dropped them off at the post office. So the stuff that y'all got in the auction is on the way to you. I'm going to be doing another live on Whatnot tonight, okay? So this is Monday, October 21st at 9 p.m. Eastern. I have more Marvel 24 variant packs. I got a X-Men 97 pack that I'm going to auction off. Plus, I got some other joints. I'm going to put the link in the description. Definitely, man, come check out the live stream tonight on Whatnot. We're going to have a lot of fun. So, boom. Whatnot Hero House was a success. The space was fly, too. You see some of the B-roll here, man, like amazing. And then I went into the convention. I went into the Javits, and I hopped right into the panel with AWA. So I was moderating a panel with Charlamagne the God, the legend Denys Cowan, and Axel Alonso, former Marvel editor-in-chief. And they're putting out a book called Illuminati, ILL, capital ILL, Illuminati, Illuminati, through AWA. So it's independent. They got a Kickstarter going on. I'll put the link in the bio for that too. I think the Kickstarter runs out October 22nd, and that's the only way you can get the book. So you have about 1 day left, but the place was packed. So shout out to everybody who came out. Shout out to DJ Links for the B-roll that you're seeing right here. Shout out to my man Randy Darius from Bulletproof. A lot of dope people in the building. So I've gone to New York Comic Con so many years as a fan, and it feels amazing to go in there officially working, right? As an official, like a professional, like a comic professional. It feels good to know that the work I do in the comic space can have some type of impact. So as much as I like going there as a fan, it felt really good going there as a professional. Okay, so Saturday I go back. I take my sons with me, all right? I got my teenage sons, so I take my sons with me to hang out and do a little shopping. They ditched me as soon. First time I turned my back, they was gone. They went to do their own thing, man. But that's cool, man. That's what it's all about. I definitely checked out the Bulletproof booth. All right. Shout out to my man Hank. Shout out to my man Randy Darius. Like I said, the Bulletproof Brigade, and my brother Damian Scott was there signing some autographs. I picked up something. Where is it? Yeah, I picked up something from Damian too. Damian launched his iconic his portrait book. If you ever seen these portraits that he does, they're like composites. Like for example, here's something he did for Chadwick, and inside Chadwick's face, his face is comprised of different Black Panther images, or he has Stan Lee right here, and it's different images of different Marvel figures. He has a famous Biggie one that everybody loves. Michael Jordan over here, Robert Downey Jr. over here, Steph Curry over here. So I went to go check out my man Damian, and picked up one of these, super ill, man. So, I was happy with this purchase. And then, I'm at the Bulletproof booth, and, I've written a couple of comic books myself, like the Flatbush Zombies comic, Marvel Voices. So Hank puts me to work, and he gets me to sign the books. So now here I am at the con as a creator as well, signing autographs, which is, it was pretty cool. So let's get to the pickups. I'm going to be honest. I didn't plan well. I had been so busy. I wanted to make a checklist of certain books that I was really trying to get. I made a small list, but not an extensive one. I didn't plan Artist Alley very well. I didn't plan how I was going to get the New York Comic Con exclusives very well. I was kind of just winging it, but I'll go through what I got. So first of all, I picked up an Uncanny X-Men 94 slabbed. You see it right there. After Giant Size X-Men 1, which is up there on the wall. I got that last year. This is the first book when the team appears. Giant Size X-Men 1, introduces the new team, Wolverine, Nightcrawler, Storm, and in 94, this is the first time the new team appears in the actual Uncanny X-Men title, and is really important because prior to this, issues 67 to 93 were all reprints. Like, X-Men as a title just wasn't doing very well. And so they kept the book going, I think, just to keep the property, to keep the IP going. But they were reprinting old stories between 67 and 93. And 94, you see all new, all different. And, it's the new X-Men characters. So this is like the introduction to the new team, the expansion of the X-Men universe. So pretty important key. And then also it's the first issue of Chris Claremont's, historic writing, just like you can never duplicate the Chris Claremont writing run for Uncanny. I think he wrote X-Men for about 16 years. So I picked this up. Definitely wanted this. This was something I had on my list, so I was very happy that I got this. I also picked up Venom #3, first appearance of Null. This is a hot book right now. Of course, there's a lot of hype around it because of the film, because of the Venom 3 film, which drops this week. I'll probably do a video on that after I see it. And Null's appearance in the film. It could go either way. If the movie is a hit, this book can rise in value, but chances are that after the movie comes out and the hype dies down, this book will probably lower in value a little bit. I'm guessing that's going to go down, but I got it at a good price. I didn't get it for a high price. I talked the seller down. I went and I went to go get it on Sunday. So I picked this up on Sunday. I figured it's the last day, man. People want to unload their inventory. The book was a little high, but I talked them down. So I was happy with it. And look, the fact is, movie or not, Noel is just such a dope villain, especially one of the more recent Marvel villains. Noel is really dope. So that was a book that I actually should have should have got it off the newsstand, and I didn't. So had to cop it now, but I'm happy with the purchase. And then so after that, those are a couple of slabs that I got. And then I went to go see Scott Williams at Artist Alley because he had some New York Comic Con exclusives. If you don't know Scott Williams is, he's an artist, but also legendary inker as well. Inked Jim Lee during Jim Lee's X-Men run. And really you could see that Jim Lee became Jim Lee, or like their styles meshed so well. Like Jim Lee was always hot and Jim Lee is amazing. But when Jim Lee and Scott Williams linked up, like their chemistry just exploded, right? So they did these New York Comic Cons. I hope the glare from the light doesn't catch it, but they did these foil remasters of some classic X-Men covers. So this is X-Men number 4. This is the first appearance of Omega Red. So New York Comic Con exclusive foil cover. I don't know if you see it on screen, man, but it just looks beautiful. I'll probably post a picture. I don't know if the glare is hitting it, but this was just beautifully done. Got Scott Williams to sign it there at the top. They also did X-Men number 3 as an exclusive, so I copped that as well. And then Uncanny X-Men 275 Virgin variant, no trade dress at the top. This was actually, the original 275 was the first Uncanny X-Men book that I ever bought right off the newsstand. And so this one is special to me. And I remember having to read the book like 3 or 4 times because, again, Chris Claremont, like the vocabulary in this was so advanced. Like I was like, what's that word? Like I remember having to go to the dictionary and look words up. This book is important to me. I wanted to get it signed by Chris Claremont too, but his line was long. So I was just like, you know what? I'm cool. But Scott Williams signed this for me. This is a beautiful, beautiful cover. And then Uncanny X-Men 1, the new launch, the From the Ashes, Scott Williams actually illustrated a variant cover. So this is the Virgin variant signed by Scott Williams, man. So shout out to Scott Williams. He was really chill too, man. We spoke for a second. Put these right there. Dude was really nice and chill. So that was cool. Copped a couple Silver Surfer books to fill some holes. You know, it's funny that I actually had this. I didn't think I had this book, so I picked it up. I wouldn't have picked it up otherwise. I was like, damn, I just caught one at home and it was kind of waiting for me in the pile. But this is, this is kind of the beginning of that Infinity Gauntlet era. This is the first, I believe, Ron Lim and Jim Starlin like hooking up on the book and their like legendary run. So I copped this. So now I got 2 copies. This is all good though. This is a great book to have 2 copies of. And then this one, Silver Surfer 45. I have been looking for this. This is one of my favorite covers. I know when you get the list of best comic book covers, this doesn't rank up there, but this is like a personal favorite. I always love this color. I don't know why I always love the green background. Thanos and Mephisto kind of like, they're villains, you know what I'm saying? But just kind of look, just hanging out like B-Boy stance, like Thanos with his arms crossed. The boys are back. This was always one of my favorite covers. This is not like a special key or anything. It's not super rare, but you also don't see it around a lot. Like I do a lot of IG auctions, like where I'm looking for books and claim sales and stuff like that. I see a lot of Silver Surfers from this Ron Lim, Jim Starlin run, and I don't see this too often. So I picked this up to fill a hole, and I'll probably pick this up every time that I see it on sale. I just love this cover. If I get a poster, if I get like a Virgin poster of this cover, like a Virgin variant poster, I would cop it. This is super dope. All right. Absolute Batman, right? Hottest book in the comic industry right now. I got this signed by Nick Dragata. Shout out to Nick Dragata. Super nice. I just walked up to his booth and I was like the last one before he left for the day. And there was no line or anything. Walked right up. He signed the book. Shook his hand, man. Told him what a great just book this was and how much I enjoyed it and how much I look forward to what they're about to do. He signed the book and that was it. So this is a cool autograph. I thought about putting this in my whatnot sale, but I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna keep it for myself, man. I really like Absolute Batman. I was gonna get this signed by Scott Snyder too, but again, the line was so long and it was a little disorganized. It was hard to see where it started, where it ended, and then they would cap the line, and then you would have to gather somewhere, and then they would reorganize the line. It was just a lot, and I didn't plan it well. I'm not blaming it on Comic-Con. It's my fault. I didn't make a great plan. Would have been nice to get this signed by Scott Snyder, but, who knows? I can go back. Scott will be around, right? Dope book. I went to go see Will Spatacchio, also one of my favorite X-Men artists, and I got him to sign. This is the original copy of Uncanny X-Men 282, first appearance of Bishop. I know they say this is the first cover appearance, right? But to me, if you appear on the cover like this and it says his name is Bishop, is a clear introduction. This is the first appearance. First appearance of Bishop, got signed by Wills. I bought this from the newsstand when it first came out. And it was funny, we were talking about it, and he saw the newsstand and he was like, yo, like, do you remember the store that you bought it? And we talked about how like newsstands were important and things like that. And yeah, I remember the store that I bought it in, again, Parkside and Ocean in Flatbush, Brooklyn. But he signed this, and then I also caught this print from him. This Uncanny X-Men 290. This is one of the best Storm covers ever, and he signed this. So I'm gonna get this frame and hung up. But I always thought this was one of the best Storm covers ever. I mean, just her in the rain, like basking in it. You kind of just feel the emotion in this piece. So this shit was really dope. So I copped this as well. Shout out to Will. So he was really nice. He had noticed I was wearing my Right to Dream chain, which is like the thought bubble with my logo, Right to Dream Entertainment. That's my company. And he was asking me about it. He was like, oh, what's Right to Dream? What do you do? And, I told him a little bit. I didn't tell him like I didn't get into like music, and it was just a lot. We didn't have a ton of time, but I did tell him that I wrote a couple comic books, and he asked me which one. I showed him some pages for the Marvel Voices, and he was really nice about it, man. So shout out to Wills. He was really dope. Then I went to go see my man, DJ Ben Amin, released this graphic novel, this Jimi Hendrix graphic novel called Purple Haze. And it's been out for a while, and I had been meaning to pick it up. And then when I just knew he was going to be at Comic-Con, my man, proud Howard alum, man, he missed Homecoming, like, you know what I'm saying? But for his Comic-Con to be there as a creator, we talked about that. Like, he was still repping Howard, don't worry. But he was at, Comic-Con just signing his book, selling his book, like meeting the fans, man. And that's what it's all about. So I had been meaning to pick this up, and I finally picked it up, man. So shout out to Ben Amin. I can't wait to read it. He signed it for me too, man. Super chill. Then I went to go see my man, Chris Robinson. He has a new book called All Negro Comics. He had sold out, which is amazing. By the time I got to his booth, he sold out. He just had the dust covers. But what I did was I purchased it online right there at the booth. And so it's in the mail, it's coming. And he gave me a dust jacket and was like, all right, when it comes, then you put the dust jacket on the book. And now it's complete, man. But shout out to Chris Robinson, super dope writer, super dope editor. He's given me so many opportunities. And then he has a new book also that I got called Werewolf Frankenstein, where it's just this mashup of classic horror characters. It's actually a pretty dope concept that he wrote, man. So shout out to Chris. I can't wait to read this stuff. I can't wait till I get All Negro Comics in the mail. When I get it, I'm going to tell y'all about it. And then I got a couple of copies of Fearless Future, which was the first book that Chris did, man. So shout out to Chris Robinson, amazing guy. Proud to call him a friend. Again, he's done so much for me, but dude, first and foremost, is just his talent. And then, Chris was sharing a booth with Ariel Colon. So I picked up a couple of his DC variant covers and got it signed, man. So shout out to Ariel, man. This Kneel Before Zod foil cover is crazy. So, man, shout out to Ariel. And then shout out to DJ Lynx. I got this special metal comic that he did. The cover is fire. Again, I hope you can see it. I hope the way the light bounces off of it. I still got to, figure out how the light works in this room on this set. But metal, like this is an amazing Spider-Man cover. It's an indie book that he did. And the proceeds go to Comics Curing Cancer. So, that was dope. This was a dope pickup. So shout out to DJ Lynx. All in all, man, I had a good time, man. So a lot of people, bumped into a lot of people, shook a lot of hands. A lot of people came up to me and gave me encouragement. Like, we look at this channel and I'm like, I know the numbers aren't where they need to be. I'm getting like a couple of hundred on each video. But people are still like, oh, man, I'm seeing the content. Like, I love the content. Like, people are actually seeing the content. So though the numbers may be low right now and we're still growing, I'm going to give myself grace. It was encouraging to know that I'm hitting the right people. You know what I'm saying? Like people were kind of just stopping me and showing love for the content. So again, the numbers may be low, maybe a small audience, but it's the audience that I want. You know what I'm saying? So you guys, I'm grateful for each and every one of y'all. You know, we're gonna get into some more stuff, you know. I'm gonna do my whatnot sale, so definitely come to that. You know, we're gonna see what comes out in the LCS this week. Got a lot more videos that I want to do, so please stick around until the next one. All right, peace.